In this next video, we're going to be looking at external rotation. So like we reviewed in the internal rotation video, external rotation is just the opposite direction. So we're looking at trying to see how much rotation of the shoulder head do we have to the back side of that capsule in external rotation, right? So here, if I'm using my thumb as a guide, is what I have on my left. There's what I have on my right. A little different, right? So that's normal. Everybody's is always going to be a little bit off. I'm right-handed. This is my dominant side. I use it for more things. I don't use my left side as often as I probably should. So we work on that to build capacity. Sometimes it can get so over where it actually causes us pain. So we basically have to unpack that and open up the space a little bit so the shoulder head has more range of motion, so we don't have to rely on just a very limited front space. We can actually get that shoulder head to turn when we need it, right? And all these different weird ranges that we go in for shoulders. So this is a prone position or laying on the belly position. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 yoga blocks. You're going to place them on either side of the yoga mat. I'm going to take off my peepers here and set them to the side because we're going to go face down. So I want the yoga blocks to be just in front of my shoulders. And then I'm going to slide my hands so they're at the back of the blocks. This is important because we want to create the space for the wrist to be able to fold over the edge. If they were holding on here, we're not really getting what we need out of this space. I'm just going to go ahead and rest my chin down on the floor here. And now I'm going to do a test. I want to see how well, if I just let my elbows relax, do they reach the floor? If they touch, I know I need to open the blocks out just a little bit and maybe slide them back. So I'm going to open the blocks out just a bit and pull back just a hair. So now I'm going to do that same test. So resting my chin. I want to make sure that my scapula aren't up by my ears, so I want to pull those back and down. I'm going to lightly tuck my pelvis to protect my low back from dipping into extension or forced anterior tilt of the pelvis. So that gets a little painful. And now I'm going to let the elbows just softly relax. So as you can see here, I'm not quite touching the floor yet, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm just going to get 5 good deep breaths in here and see if my tissue will give me some space. So if by breath 3 I haven't quite gotten there yet, I'm going to go ahead and just slide the blocks back up just a hair, give myself enough space to where I'm almost touching the ground. I feel like my ribs are a little bit wonky, so I'm going to readjust so I can actually be on top of them rather than being pushed up. There we go. From here, I'm going to take a big deep breath in for the positional isometric. I'm going to reach my elbows down towards the floor, and then I'm going to start to press down through my palms. So I'm rotating for internal rotation here. Should feel the front of your shoulders activate, the pecs, maybe even the serratus a little bit as you press those elbows down into the floor. And we're going to hold about 40% effort here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to soften that down. Taking a big deep breath in. Press those elbows down into the floor. Pull those scapula back and down and think about lifting the hands away. They're not going to go anywhere. But you want to find the activation of the back of those shoulders, scapular tissue, pulling the scapula towards the midline of the spine just a little bit, and then relaxing, sinking in. May cramp. Oh, right side, cramping a lot. Left side, cramping a lot. I'm going to breathe through that. By the third breath, it hasn't gone away yet. You can come up and out. Oh my goodness. And then bring those arms out just for a minute. Give it a break. Sometimes you can breathe through it. They'll relax. That time, it just kept hanging on. Give it the good fight, but if you need to, give yourself a little bit of a break. Okay, I'm going to come back in for one more round. Adjusting those ribs. Letting those elbows fall. Sinking back into the position. Taking a big breath in. Pressing my elbows down. Slowly rotating for internal rotation, pressing my palms down into the blocks. Building up that strength. Tucking my pelvis. Trying to feel that serratus pull my scapula forward. Trying to press those blocks into the ground, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, ramping down nice and slow. Take a breath in. Retuck. Press the elbows. Think about lifting up. Get into those shoulders. And relax, sinking in. Breathing through the cramps. A little bit better this time, but still going. I think if I get one more good breath in. Oh, now it's down into my foot. That happens. Okay. Big breath. Slide those blocks forward. Bring the hands down. Oh, just let your head rest for a second. Oh, goodness. Oh, God, up off the floor nice and slow. Oh. I'm not going to lie. That's just brutal. The cramping in the back is a little bit much, but it's necessary. As we work on regaining that space, because the nervous system isn't used to using the tissue back there, when we try to activate it at that in range, it doesn't really know or understand how to organize that in a way to not cramp the tissue. So it's just blindly firing neural signals to the tissue, trying to accomplish the task of what you're asking for. So it just fires everything all at once, causing the muscle to cramp. So if we can breathe through that and give the nervous system space or time to explore that area and figure out how to control that space, the less likely it is to happen, and the more control that space will have in the end. So that's your example for external rotation in range isometrics.